Hello, sharpshooters. You know why I say sharpshooters, right? Because you have to be sharp to trade, unless you use a robot. Alcohol and trading don't mix, right? If you're trading manually, if you have a robot, I personally don't drink, never have. But if you have a robot, you don't need to worry about these things. You can take off a whole shelf on psychology of trading, all that kind of stuff. Your rules are inside. In my robot, there's 11 rules, and they are cemented in. Whatever happens, the robot will take the trade. And you have to take the trade every time. It's like flipping a coin. If you're going to get the 50% average, because that's what will happen, you need to flip the coin, you know, thousands of times, maybe. Then you will go to 50% heads and tails eventually. But you could get 100 tails in a row, or 100 heads in a row. But still, the average would go to 50. And as I always say, 50% is not good enough for me. I need 80%. Anyway, the subject today is a very punctual trade. And I don't have to do this, but I'm doing it as a favor to those who trust me, because a lot of people say, oh, he's full of it. So, but those who trust me can collect the low-hanging fruit. Now, this is what I look at every weekend, called the COT report, Commitment of Traders report. And it shows what it's amazing that's one of the great things about America. A lot of things get regulated, and there's some good and some bad to it. But this is good that they force banks, Goldman Sachs, people like that, and retail institutions, and what they call hedgers, people who do it. For instance, a person who will hedge wheat, they're here for this is not wheat, this is the euro, but people who hedge for professional reasons. A wheat farmer may hedge his crops, etc. So usually what happens is you want to follow this green line here, which is what institutions are doing, okay? And at the moment, here is the euro chart, okay? That wasn't the euro chart before. The index is good, but you want individual currencies. Now, as you know, I mainly trade euro, and the main reason for that is, and some other people on other videos disagree, the main reason I trade the euro is that it's the second most liquid market in the world. The most liquid market is the S&P 500. The second most liquid market in the world is the euro to US dollar. It is huge. It is humongous. It is billions of dollars a day. Very hard. The Swiss central bank couldn't itself move the euro the way they wanted to. So why is that good? Well, that's good because patterns and technical analysis work better, because there are less shenanigans, as I call them. Market makers getting your stops and all that. It's very hard for them to do it. Much harder than on the yen or something like that, where you can drive a Humvee through the spread at 3 o'clock in the morning. Or the New Zealand dollar. Say if you do New Zealand dollar to the Swiss franc, how many people do you think trade that a day? I can move that, right? So you don't want to do those unless you really want to speculate. But the euro is less volatile, and especially during market hours, US market hours, it's practically impossible. Even the Federal Central Bank has problems, It's practically impossible for people to move that. In other words, play shenanigans, as they do on stocks, as they do on anything. Really, gold is moved by big banks and things like that. But the euro, okay, still has a major force, which is this green line, It shows you what big banks are doing, like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, Credit Suisse. What am I missing? All the big banks that have huge, and also the hedge funds and mutual funds. Now you become a force that is almost as big as the central banks. So what you are seeing this week is something very interesting. They say it's the lowest, it's the biggest short position on the euro that banks have since 2016. You can see here, this is big banks. They're short 100,000 contracts, okay, altogether. And you can see that they've been increasing their shorts. And these are hedges. They do the opposite. So these always work pretty well. Now this is the interesting chart because this is the retail. And what are the retail? They're long. And they're going long every day. And the sentiment report, which I have, is showing me that they're up to 70% long. And that's why probably not much happened on the non-farm payroll on Friday. So my recommendation is, it's a punctual recommendation, okay, to go long the dollar or short the euro. So here, shorting this. So the best way to do this, in my opinion, is to use BBSO, my robot, okay, because what you want to do, since there will be shenanigans, it doesn't mean you can't go long or, in between, because look here, you still have, this is 15-minute chart, okay, I'm re-optimizing it, and you can see it's fairly late. It's 3:45 in the morning here in Paris time, and you can see, for instance, right now we're doing, it's starting to short a little bit, and you can see that the bands have been very narrow. My optimized bands, of course, you can see up here, optimizing. This is not Bollinger, okay? Don't get this mixed up. This is a very complex program here. It's just an indication of where we want to be doing things. Basically, the idea is you put this on short only, because then you get, you'd be shorting around here, you'd be shorting around here, and the robot will continually do that. But you want to, basically, my recommendation right now, my gift to you is, say, go short the euro. Take a position, okay? Take a view. And it's low-hanging fruit, and you will thank me for it later. But you need to be patient. Remember, be careful with leverage. If you have 500-to-1 leverage, you can be, as Greenspan said, the market can be irrational for a long time. They could be building this position for a little while, but you need to stay short. And the best way to do it is to use my system where it will short. Let's say there's a spike like there was on Friday on the non-farm payroll, which wasn't very big, which led me to believe that something was going on. That was a good short, okay? Right now it's starting to, but it didn't happen Friday night. These things can take a little while. Things don't turn on a dime. People get too impatient, and they go from day to day, and that's not how it works. So you want to take a short position here. If you are in a hurry, you can put this on 5 minutes. You can put this on 15 minutes. I suggest doing a separate chart because you still want to do longs. Okay, so you have a chart that does long and shorts, but you have an extra special forces chart, let's say on 15 and 5 minutes, that will do shorts for you. So every time it feels, and I take the filters off to make sure that you could put the filters on, they'll do less trades, because if it doesn't feel that the trend is good enough yet, it won't take it. But you can take the filters off to do the special commando trades, and you can do something which I don't often reveal. You can do short only by simply going to on my BBSO. You go to the common tab. It's not even comment tab here, and you go only short. Okay, so you can do this at 5 minutes and 15 minutes, which are the time charts I recommend for doing this special low-hanging fruit trade that Olivier Nomblo is giving to you. Okay, so I hope you enjoy that, and don't tell me I'm not doing freebies, because that is a freebie, and I think you'll all be happy with it, and I hope I get some likes and thanks and things like that, which I don't often get. So subscribe and like, okay? Because that does bring your videos to attention, which is what I want. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.